Hey 143 fam, I'm Antonia and thank you for being here. Are you ready for September? This is going to feel like a very different energy than we felt in August. I'm channeling for us collectively, dreams will be realized. We're going to take a look and see what September has in store for each sign individually in just a minute. But first of all, I need to thank you guys so much. In August, I hit 10,000 subscribers. At the time of filming this, I'm almost at about 12,000, which is mind-blowing to me because this channel is not even a year old. So thank you guys so much for your support here. To celebrate 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway every single Friday on Instagram. We did this once in August. It went over really well. You guys get to ask me one free question, and I choose a handful of winners. A good amount of info comes through, even just for one question, so it's very much worth your while. But as always, I will still be giving away 2 free readings, 2 more extensive readings here on YouTube. If you would like to be considered for a free reading, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment below your video. Let me know that you have subscribed. Let me know what you thought of the messages that came through, if you resonated with any of them. And I will notify winners from here forward on Instagram and on Twitter, both Urban Soul Guru, okay? Because some of you are missing notifications on YouTube, so I want to make sure winners know that they have won. So again, winners will be notified at the very end of the month, of each month, on Instagram and on Twitter. Now let's take a look. Let's check out this energy for September. Let's see what's in store. Hey Scorpio, this reading is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to take a look at your general overview first. Then love, I will have timestamps down below. Scorpio, general overview, September 2019. Scorpio, general overview, September 2019. Scorpio, I'm channeling working out the kinks. You guys will be working out the kinks, especially in regards to creative projects, something work related. You may have stumbled across an obstacle. You may have launched something. It feels like for some of you, without being 100% ready, but you just felt like it was go time, and it was actually good that you did do that, but now you're working at the kinks. You may be a little bit overwhelmed with that, but it does feel like these kinks get worked out and smoothed over by the end of September, okay? September feels like an easier month for you than August was, so trust that. I'm also getting something about, I want to say fabric. This one applies to all of you, Scorpio. But maybe for those of you in specifics of fashion, or I'm even getting interior design, there's something about velvet, but I'm also getting colors. I'm getting purple, or like a purplish red, maybe blending these colors. I'm seeing blended designs, or 2 different designs or different patterns that maybe don't normally go together. It's very specific for those of you who tend to be creative in that kind of a way with fabrics. You're going to wind up having a lot of success if you step out of the box and start making some maybe riskier moves, putting patterns and different colors together that don't typically go together. It just feels like that's going to launch in a really big way, especially for those of you with an online presence, or for those of you I'm seeing a runway, so maybe some of you are models or you're designers, you have your own brand, okay, so that's there for you. But this message around fabric, I'm almost even kind of getting, like, if you see this design on my shirt, it's something, I don't want to say it's like this, identical to this, but it's sort of like a crazier pattern, but sort of like raised. It's almost like the velvet's raised a little bit. It feels like that specific to those of you, maybe you've moved, but it feels a little nostalgic. It reminds you maybe of a grandmother. It feels like some sort of fabric, maybe on furniture or curtains. You may be seeing that somewhere, especially if you're feeling a little bit homesick, or if you've been asking loved ones who've maybe passed away for some guidance, or universe is just using that to guide you in the right direction. Some of you need to pay attention to that, especially for those of you who really connect to that message. You know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. It feels like somebody older, like a grandparent, Maybe as a little kid, you used to go to their house and they used to have like some crazy fabric curtains or something like that. Again, those colors, red and purple, or that velvet, something almost like raised, like the design being raised up a little bit. I don't know if that makes total sense. Again, this only applies to some of you, Scorpio, but it comes through strong enough. There's nostalgia there, but again, there's guidance. So pay attention if that comes up throughout the course of September. Okay, Scorpio, let me give this one more shuffle, and we'll get some more clarity for you guys. All right, Scorpio, general overview, September 2019. Scorpio, general overview, September 2019. Yeah, I'm hearing someone's calling you home, or it's reminding you of home, maybe. This could be somebody very, very much alive, but somebody that you miss. Okay. So pay attention to that this month, Scorpio. It comes through strong enough that it will apply to more than one or two of you. Let the past go. I'm definitely feeling nostalgia here, but I'm definitely feeling some separations. This could be separations in love. This could also be separations from family or friends. But for those of you grieving the loss of a partner, or who have recently gone through a breakup, it feels like that energy is getting in the way of work. So it's important to recognize those emotions, but start to filter some of this energy out. I know, easier said than done, but you are distracted from work. Some of you are distracted from work because of love, especially regarding separations. Okay, for those of you longing for home, if you're in a different country, I'm hearing 1,000 miles. So for those of you 1,000 miles away from home, you are meant to leave, but it's okay to find familiar environments or fabrics or colors or things that that comfort you in your new home. It doesn't mean that you can't take some of that with you, but you're not meant to get stuck in the past. Okay, there's definitely some distraction energy going on for Scorpios. Ooh, okay, 2 cards popping. Oh, one of them just flew. Let me get this for you, Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, entrepreneur sits at the center of your reading. This is the card that just flew, followed by family. So there's definitely nostalgia here, and it does feel like something or someone in the past that reminiscing, you kind of feel lost in it a little bit, is blocking work or may block work, okay, in the month of September. So be conscious of this. For those of you leaving a job to step into your own business or a new career path, this is particularly blessed. Okay, there's a whole lot of light. When I'm looking at entrepreneurs sitting at the center of your reading, there's a whole lot of light. You may have made some serious sacrifices, like moving 1,000 miles away from your family, moving 1,000 miles away from a place that's genuinely comfortable for you and loving and kind to you. Okay, you really may just be missing family. This may be all it is for you, Scorpio. Connect to them. Again, I just keep coming back to that message of decorating your home. Certain patterns that stand out to you. Maybe they remind you, I'm getting a feminine energy, so reminding you of a mom or reminding you of grandma. It feels like somebody a little bit older, okay? That serves you so well. It's like you come home to your new home and it doesn't feel foreign anymore if you start to add some of those little elements in. For some of you, it's as simple as color, okay? Get some beautiful curtains up and paint your walls if you can. Get some artwork up. But bring something into your new home that comforts you from the past, but don't get stuck here. Don't get stuck in this energy. It is time for you to have momentum forward. And I think that you guys know that. And I think as Scorpios, you are intuitively picking this up already for yourself. It's just a reminder to let go of the past and to get a little bit of healing done. To allow yourself to continue to heal at this time, okay? So we have let the past go, clarified by notice the signs. Honestly, I think the signs that you are seeing are these colors and these patterns, okay? It's you reminiscing about the past. It's you calling some of this comfort all the way in, and that's beautiful. Pay attention to those signs, okay? But again, don't get stuck here. These signs, these little comforts, they're going to help you make peace with having moved on from someone or something that you loved, okay? But also, this feels like a grandparent coming through. This feels like a loved one coming through and speaking to you. They may be putting those signs in your path so that you are guided to the right destination. Because again, some of you just feel a little distracted right now. I'm getting a vision here with this, with a loved one coming through, Scorpio, and putting you in alignment with somebody for work and career related. Hi, monkey. You can't. I'm sorry, mama. She just wants to say hi to you guys. Putting you in alignment with a new company or a fated new partner, and you step into a meeting and you're like, wow, those curtains, that fabric, that design, okay? It's those kinds of signs. It's like you arrive somewhere new, but you see something familiar. For many of you, that's a grandparent or a loved one coming through and they're talking to you, they're guiding you, and they're protecting you. So pay attention to those signs as well. Okay, I knew this had to do with something creative for you guys. So entrepreneur, center of the reading. So blessed. There's so much love and light around this, okay? Clarify by trustworthy guidance. For my creative Scorpios, this is where you need to be. This is why you're letting go of the past, and this is why you're taking risks and having faith in the universe and faith in yourself. That it's time to start something new. It's time to do something, I don't want to say solo, because I do see that you could very well, even this month, be manifesting a really solid team around you, but it feels like it's your business and it feels like your idea. Trust that ideas at this time are fated ideas. This is Spirit speaking to you. I really feel like it's Spirit speaking to you. It's a loved one speaking to you, okay? Some of those signs would be brand new ideas for career. It's a loved one. It's the universe guiding you in the right direction. But this feels really creative to me. This feels like communication. Again, I was getting interior design. I'm getting something with runway and fashion, okay? These dreams are not too big. You can do them. You can make money doing them. And for so many of you, you're fated to step into something in the creative arts or a business that you own. I do see you hiring people. So for those of you who have already launched a new business, it feels like you could be a little overwhelmed at the start of September. However, I do see you aligning with people that would be really good staff. I feel like you may be hiring a manager or a few people even just to work part-time, possibly an assistant, possibly an intern. It does feel like you might need some help to either launch this, or once you have launched this idea or this new business, to maintain it long-term. So trust that. But again, even some of these people may bring up something from the past that's really positive. They may have grown up in the same hometown as you. Or they've gone to the same college as you. There's something familiar. Familiar people, familiar, I'm getting scents, familiar colors and patterns. It all feels very creative. Trust that is Spirit speaking to you. You don't have to search very hard for these signs. They should be pretty obvious, but you do want to keep your eyes open to them all month long because there is guidance here. Okay. So we have family, clarified. By law of attraction that wanted to like jump off the table but didn't, okay? Utilize this. Utilize law of attraction not just for you and your business, but utilize law of attraction for your family. If you're missing your family, ask universe to manifest a way for you to make enough money to go back and visit. Ask universe for a way to bring your family over to this town or this new city or this new home that you live in, whether it's permanent or just a little vacay, okay? Manifest it, but manifest blessings that also benefit your family. Ask for it. And it does feel like for some of you, it feels like you may be a little too distracted and the priority isn't necessarily sitting down and utilizing law of attraction. But let me hold these two up, okay? Side by side, trustworthy guidance and law of attraction. You may be channeling new ideas, and then you're going to utilize law of attraction to manifest the people and the opportunities and the blessings that will bring it full circle. But there's definitely a connection to family. I think for most of you, especially if you're missing family or you're missing home, it's a manifesting a way so that you can have the best of both worlds. So you can start this new chapter without feeling like you're there alone. I feel like for some of you, you are trying to manifest, or you should be trying to manifest, soul family in the new place, okay? Whether it's a physical new place or it's just a new journey of life, because I do feel like for some of you, you've been cutting out relationships. Many Scorpios have been on top of this the last couple of months, cutting out and off relationships that do not serve you, okay? That's not just specific to love. That definitely pertains to friends. Some of you are just feeling lonely and you need to call soul family in. For some of you, you're going to call soul family back in. So friends that you just lost contact with because of time, it wasn't about outgrowing one another or anything like that. You may be reaching out to friends. You may have friends reaching out to you, feeling nostalgic, missing you. You missing them. You know there's a soul connection there and it is of the highest good, Trust that as well, okay? Keep an open mind to that. Perfect time in crowning your reading. It's the perfect time to move. It's the perfect time to launch something, especially creative. Do you see all that music? I know my light's a little bright here, but all of those music notes. Okay, so especially for my creative Scorpios out there, it's go time. It's go time, and there are some sacrifices, but you can handle this. Manifest what it is that you need to bridge that gap, okay? Especially with family. Bottom of the deck, have confidence, fulfilling your life purpose. It's time, Scorpio. You're doing something really great right now. Do expect for businesses that have already been launched, especially for those of you in creative fields, it's going to evolve more this month. You're working out the kinks. For some of you, you're working out the kinks in terms of help. So you may have hired a few people already, and not everybody was in alignment with your vision. So you may have to cut some people out, rehire a few people. You're working out the kinks. Trust that. Again, September will be a smoother month. But trust ideas that come through. Trust the inspiration that comes through. Trust that there's something bigger that deserves your attention. Scorpio, I don't see too many of you working for somebody else much longer. This has come up for another sign as well. There may be something you start as like a side project to make a little extra money. I'm trying to think of who this was. This came up for maybe Pisces. Like a side project or just a passion project, and you never intended to make money, or it was just to make a little extra money, and now all of a sudden it's going to bloom for you. There's money there. This may be how you step out of working that 9 to 5 for somebody else and now you own your own business, okay? Don't be surprised if that comes through for you. Again, in September and October, these feel particularly blessed. Okay, Scorpio, let's see how this all applies to love. Scorpio in love. September 2019. Scorpio in love, September 2019. Scorpio separations are coming through very strong in September. And it doesn't necessarily feel like you will be separating. It feels like if you go into September, in a healthy relationship, you're going to stay in that relationship. But it does feel like some of you separated July, August. It's lingering. The energy is lingering, and you have to cut those energy cords. If there's grief, deal with it. Allow yourself time to heal. It can't just be all about work. But it's almost like, I feel like some of you may be sidestepping some of those difficult emotions because you know there's something important on your plate. You know there's something that deserves your attention. And so some emotions may be suppressed. You may also be seeing this in a new partner as well. For those of you who have just gotten into a relationship, you can feel that they're not all the way over their ex, okay? So pay attention to those little red flags as well, but this comes through stronger for you, Scorpio, and this being your experience. Maybe, I want to say suppressing certain emotions, and not because you don't have the courage to deal with them, but just because you're busy and you know that work needs your attention right now, but it's slowing you down. So you are better off taking off a few days. You would be better off secluding yourself for a week or two, really getting work done, but then coming home and being alone, okay, for a little while to process emotions if you have difficult emotions. Especially, I'm getting energy cords really hardcore. It may not be emotions. It may be that you don't realize that you still have really intact energy cords with an ex. It's draining. It's distracting, okay? The quicker you resolve this, and I recommend doing this as early on as you possibly can, the more successful you will have. The more successful month ahead you will have, and the easier month that you will have ahead, okay? But there's definitely some crossover with love and separations getting in the way of work. So let's get a little bit more clarity for Scorpio and love. September 2019. Yeah, forgiving and learning is the first part out. Allow yourself to forgive the person who hurt you. Allow yourself to be forgiven if you feel like you've hurt somebody else, but ultimately recognize the blessing and the lessons learned, okay? There are always lessons learned. I'm definitely getting a sense that some of you, Scorpio, may be in and out of one particular relationship with somebody. It feels like this could have been ongoing for quite some time. You guys may get together and then you break up. You may even entertain dating other people, but then you come back together. It's this soulmate, I want to say maybe even twin flame energy, but there's definitely something spiritual going on there. And you guys kind of go back and forth into each other's lives. And it feels like one of you, and probably you, Scorpio, you've realized this is very unhealthy. stability, okay? It feels like you're craving more stability than that, but the lessons have already been learned, and now it's almost wasteful for you guys to continue on. It's sort of like, I'm going to say self-sabotage, that cycle. It feels like a cycle that you've been repeating. It feels like you've come to the end of the cycle, and that's probably why you call things off in July or August. But it's difficult because there are serious spiritual ties here. There are energy cords that are still draining you, but I think the key to resolving this and healing this is to see the situation not from a place of judgment, but see what are the blessings there, even if you feel like they're hidden blessings. What did you learn? If you walked away with no other lesson learned than I need stability, I am deserving of healthier relationships with a partner who is stable and who will continue to be in my life long term, that is so beautiful. That alone is worth your time. So learn those lessons, acknowledge them. I see some of you needing to like journal and write it down. You may need like a trusted friend or a mentor to sit down and really talk this through with. Although as Scorpio, I feel like you're going to want to do this a little bit more on your own. Again, you may be retreating inward. You will be better off this month retreating inward just a little bit to resolve this and really consciously making space to forgive and let go of exes and to heal from separations than you will be if you continue to suppress this emotion, because there does still feel like a lot of love here. It feels like you may have separated from somebody that you really do love. And you know, Scorpio, I feel like for some of you, someone may have tried to come back and they expected you to take them back because you always do. And this time you said no. And it was really hard to do, and it was really heartbreaking to have to lay those healthy boundaries down, not just for yourself, but for the benefit of your partner as well. It feels like some of you are still dealing with that. It feels a little bit heavy, okay? The center of your reading is give your relationship a chance. I'm really feeling like someone expected you to give your relationship a chance, and you just knew it wasn't on the highest good, okay? You said no this time. You're grieving. They could potentially be grieving. Even if you're more at peace, do trust that a partner is probably grieving that ending pretty hard right now. And so if you have energy cords attached, their grief is still spilling over into you. Like there is some sort of energy pull there, even if it's not intentional, but you need to cut those cords. For those of you who are single and you feel like, okay, you've been healing, you've been consciously on this journey, you see the blessings, you're feeling much more peace. I'm seeing, especially for those of you, once you get to mid-month, okay, you're ready to get back out there, you're ready to meet somebody new. Universe is asking you to give love a chance. Trust that you've ended a cycle and now you are meant to experience something brand new, a very different experience than you've had with the ex, especially the ex or exes that tended to come and go. That was a karmic pattern. It does feel like that pattern's ending for most of you, okay? Now, for those of you coming into the month as a very intact unit, you're not breaking up and coming and going. You guys are a couple as of the beginning of September. I see you guys flourishing, okay? But there is still some forgiveness and some healing that needs to take place. If someone did something, and I'm feeling like someone may have irritated you, someone may have even done something more serious that really troubled you, Scorpio, but you guys have chosen to stay together, you have to let it go. Again, there are hidden blessings here. Find them and acknowledge them. Communicate them, okay? You may be asking somebody for forgiveness at this time. It feels like you will receive it. For those of you in committed relationships, and you come into the month together, it's about forgiving and working on your relationship at this time. I see you guys flourishing. You're getting past a rough patch, okay? Smoothing out the edges. Okay, so you may have already done the bulk of the work. When I'm hearing smoothing out the edges, you guys are just tweaking things just a little bit, but it does feel like there's still a lot of love here intact, and it feels like two partners mutually working at resolving issues in a relationship, which is so beautiful. Look at where you wind up, okay? You heal, you give relationships a chance if you're single, okay? Or you give your current relationship a chance and you guys continue to heal. This is where you wind up. Extend that lighthearted energy to others. If you're single, get out there and socialize and flirt. Be open to it, okay? But just make sure you've prioritized this. If you don't heal and you get back out and you try to meet somebody new, you'll probably attract more of the same, and that's not what's of the highest good for you anymore, okay? It is a new experience you were trying to call in. This feels like an air sign, okay? So don't be surprised if you connect with an air sign. This could be a friend who's an air sign that connects you to somebody that may be quite significant, but this is all about fun. This isn't about taking anyone or anything too seriously in the month of September. getting back on the horse, so to speak, right? But get out there and have fun. Doesn't mean you have to speed along at 100 miles an hour. Just take some baby steps toward putting yourself out there and socialize for sure. Socialize for sure. For those of you in committed relationships, I see as September moves along, it feels like you guys, again, like renew some sort of connection and love, but this feels very like sensual and kind of sexy, but like in a fun way. That's why I'm getting this air sign, okay? But look at this. I knew this is what was coming up for you guys. So forgiving and learning. Let's clarify by release your ex. There are energy cords here. There's still something that needs to be learned. There's still something that needs to be processed. This energy will continue to drain you if you don't deal with it. For those of you in committed relationships, you could be dealing with some ex energies and some old karmas and getting trust issues. I know that came up really strong for Aquarius, okay? So I am getting air sign Aquarius. You may be dealing with an Aquarius. You or a partner, you need to let go of old karmic situations and traumas in order for your current relationships to stay intact, because if not, or if your partner still has these kinds of attachments, okay, and traumas from the past, you guys are not going to stay together. It's going to be too overwhelming for the partner who's trying to maintain a healthy balance. So it's important that either you or your partner, whoever needs to be healing, it could be both of you, dealing with some ex and some old stuff, some old karmic things. It's important that you address this as early in the month as possible. For those of you, again, in committed relationships, so it's not about an ex, it's not about ex old karma or old traumas. It's about forgiving and releasing old energies and old patterns and those irritating things in your partner, or that thing that they did that troubled you, okay? So it's not necessarily about releasing the ex, but it's about releasing those old energies that could be preventing you guys from moving forward. For those of you in committed relationships, I see you moving forward. I don't see separations throughout the month of September. Not right now. Not right now. I see a lot of healing and I see a lot of love here still. Wow. Center of the reading. Okay, give your relationship a chance. Calling in soulmates. I think for some of you, the reason you're having such a hard time letting go of somebody is because there are soulmate ties. So let's start with those of you in committed relationships. You work on your relationship. You find the hidden blessings and the arguments and the rough times, and you come out stronger because you are with a compatible soulmate. This is somebody that is meant to stay in your life. Okay, so don't give up on them. Keep working at it. Keep healthy affirmations out there and your faith alive. There's a revival of something in love. For those of you in committed relationships, you will really enjoy the next couple weeks ahead as long as you do some healing, okay? And you're not just distracting yourself with work. For those of you who are single or who are in beginning stages of relationships where there aren't really solid commitments yet, I do feel you calling in more than one soulmate, but I caution you to not make commitments this month. There's just something that still needs to be resolved. You still may be calling in quality people. I see you having fun. I see you having fun with soulmates. I see you really enjoying soulmate connections in general. This could be friends. This could be in love. Because again, soul family feels like it's such a big message for you as well. So you're calling in friends that are soul family too here, not just in love, but for sure in love, calling in soulmates. Something may develop over the course of October and get a little bit more serious, but for September, it's either you or that partner still has some healing to do. If you guys get too serious too quickly, someone's not going to heal what they need to heal at this time, and it's going to ruin something down the road. So take your time with this and just keep it lighthearted and fun. It feels like a sexy month. If you can keep things lighthearted and fun, there feels like a whole lot of intimacy and a whole lot of exploring that intimacy. But don't get distracted with anything too serious in terms of new partners, okay? Yeah, of course. We're getting this flirt. Clarified by chemistry. I told you. There's chemistry. Okay. There's emotional compatibility. You guys feel like you communicate really well. This really feels like an air sign for you, Scorpio. Or someone who has those kinds of qualities, because the communication here feels effortless, but it feels like it's communication in abundance, okay? But there's a whole lot of physical chemistry here. Keep it in that space. Keep it in that fun, flirtatious, more like superficial kind of intimacy. And I'm not saying, I know as a Scorpio, you're like, what is superficial intimacy? What does that mean? It just means intimacy that you're not going to feel stuck in, where you're not going to develop all of these attachments, or a partner won't develop all of these attachments to you and maybe rush some sort of commitment too soon, okay? So maybe let's not say superficial intimacy, but keep the depth only so deep, okay? I think you guys, that will make more sense for a Scorpio. Like, go deep, because you're probably not going to be physically attracted to somebody if it's purely superficial, but make it more of like a flirtatious kind of intimacy. Does that make sense to you? I think that will make a little more sense for Scorpio. Just don't get too serious. You guys are going to have a fun month, though, okay? Even for those of you who are really going through it and you're coming into September not feeling like you're going to have a fun month, not feeling like love is going to go well, it will. It will. Just take some time to heal. Look at this. For those of you in committed relationships, this is why you guys are still together. This is why it's important to forgive regardless of what's come up, okay? I wrote a post on Instagram today all about forgiveness, and it's not about whether or not the partner necessarily deserves it. Forgiveness is really about your freedom and about giving yourself that gift and that space to finally be able to heal and let go. So much energy comes through that says, Scorpio, let go of something in the past. For some of you, this applies to old arguments and old issues with current partners so that you guys can move forward together, okay? For others of you, you're single. This is the kind of energy that you're calling in. It really feels like you're vibing at this level. Universe wants to honor this for you. Continue to manifest. You may be manifesting soul family, but you may be manifesting family, marriage, children, that kind of a family. That kind of love is definitely coming through. Just don't rush this, okay? Because you may miss something this month if you rush into commitments. Look at this, okay? We have heart-to-heart conversations. Really feels like air sign coming through. And soulmate here, okay? So there's definitely soul ties, a beautiful communication. Let me see if I have any other messages that come through for you, Scorpio. Okay. So for those of you who moved, you're missing home. There's someone in love that feels like they're going to come through. They are going to feel like home. And it's not necessarily that you want to seek out a partner who will help you grow some roots in a new place. It's not about that, but it's natural. There's a soul connection to them. Now, for those of you who have family coming through and showing you signs, okay, as we talked about in the first spread, you may connect with somebody new and families coming through saying, yeah, this is the one, give this person a shot. That's where you may be seeing repetitive colors or patterns or imagery that reminds you of home, or I was getting sent. Something that reminds you of a really happy place, that triggers happy memories and love. You know that feeling when you show up somewhere and it's like, wow, this just reminds me of home. This is so beautiful. It's like that, such a cozy feeling. It feels like somebody new coming in is going to give you that cozy feeling just by being in their presence. That, to me, not only talks about a soulmate, but to me, that's a high-level soulmate, okay? So for those of you, again, coming into the month feeling like there's no way this is going to be a good month in love, I'm telling you, look at what's here. This is major. Just make sure you give yourself the opportunity to call in love this big and this beautiful and this blessed by healing what you need to heal and letting go of the past, okay? If you have to focus on healing all month long, this person's not going anywhere soon, okay? Again, I'm getting like something September, October for you guys. So the healing may need to take place in September so that you feel good by the end of the month to start calling this energy all the way in October. For others of you, you're much further along in your healing process. Do expect somebody significant to come through. Okay, Scorpio, if you feel like you need more clarity, reach out to me. I'm available for private readings. And for energy healing, you guys know I'm a shaman, I'm a Reiki master teacher, so I am available for that as well if you feel like you need it. I will be back mid-month for your mid-month love reading, but in the meantime, I'm sending you so much love, light, gratitude. Enjoy this. There's really good love here, okay? There's more stability now. You don't need to do that back and forth thing. That's soul karma, okay? You deserve the new. Give yourself the opportunity to experience something new now. You'll be so happy that you did and that you make space for this. All right, Scorpio, I'll see you guys back here soon. Ciao.